This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, in the previous session, we completed the move-in process, and after the move-in was completed, system created the contract in the background, and this contract will be the prerequisite for processing the billing documents. Now, since we are going to have the periodic consumption billing, it is essential we need to perform mid-reading order, enter the results, and based on this mid-reading quantity, we are going to execute the billing document, whereby it's going to calculate the consumption energy amount. Now, before we execute the billing document, we have to now complete further customizations in the system. The important customization is billing execution. In the billing so far, we have done billing master data, the rate master, based on which we will be able to create the necessary billing master data integrated with the technical master data and the device management. Now, in order to execute the billing document, we need to maintain certain system customization. We will do that. And then another very important area of configuration will be set up the automatic account determination. Here, we are going to set up the account determination in two main important areas. One will be the reconciliation account determination. Reconciliation account determination based on the main transaction. And then we have to also set up the sub-transaction account determination for the revenue items. But in order to maintain the sub-transaction account determination, we also should be ready with the tax code. Okay, so we have to maintain the tax code, which will provide us the rate of tax to be calculated on the sub-transaction items. The tax determination, we can do it even before the invoicing level. The tax determination is not necessary at this point of time. We have to maintain the account determination for the tax GL account, and that is a prerequisite at the time of invoicing. At the time of billing, although it is not necessary, then we have to maintain the price master. That means basically we need the operand value for the price, which has to be considered for the billing calculation. So once we maintain these three areas, we should be ready to do the billing. Okay. So first we'll go to billing execution. In billing execution, we have to declare what is the document type system has to use to prepare the billing document and maintain the number ranges for the billing document. So we will go to billing, execution, contract billing, billing execution, and then automatic billing and simulation. Define number ranges for the billing document. Interval. Now, basically, we're going to create different types of billing documents in SAP ISU, but each of the billing what to execute belongs to a system-defined billing category. So primarily, there are three billing categories which are available in the system. That means whatever billing document you create, it has to belong to one of these category. One is the billing document for the periodic consumption billing. Periodic consumption billing, which is basically the consumption billing based on the mid reading. Then we have the second category called the final bill, also called as move out billing, and sometimes also called as end billing. So all are same only. So whenever the move out will happen, we perform the final meter reading, and based on that we execute the final billing document. And the third category of the billing is called the manual billing. So purpose of manual billing is to create pro rata billing documents for the billing which have been already done. So basically it's a back billing. You can refer to previous billing line items and reprocess them for credit memo or debit memo, mostly used for the credit memo. Okay, so these are the three main categories of billing what we perform. So we will have document type for each one of them. And for each document type, we can maintain different number ranges. So although you can have one number range available for all the three billing documents, if you want, you can have the number ranges created separately. And there are two types of number ranges what we have to maintain. One is the number range for the individual transaction. Individual transaction means for a particular installation, I am creating a billing document. Although technically it is possible always to do single transactions, but on a day-to-day basis, we perform usually mass processing. Considering the vast population of contracts what we have in the operation, it is not possible for us to do individual billing, although it can be done for specific cases, but the most of the day-to-day billing execution will happen from the mass processing, where at a time you can do billing for n number of installations. That is called mass billing. Or you can also do parallel processing. For mass billing and parallel processing, we have to maintain a different number range. This number range identifier should start with the alphabet. For instance, we can use R1, R2, A1, A2, anything which is a two-digit identifier, but necessarily starting with the alphabet. The individual transaction, we can define as usual, like 01, 02, 03, 99, anything, two-digit number. So that's why you will see here two number ranges. 01 is 129999, 404. I maintain 04 number range for the simulation billing documents. So we will see when to create the simulation billing documents. For that, I have given different number range. R1, R2, these are the number ranges maintained for the mass processing. And all these are basically internal numerical numbers. So number ranges can be maintained here. Then define the document type category for consumption billing and final billing. Select it. We have to declare one document type for each category of billing. The category of billing is system defined. So these are the categories what we have in the system. One is the 01 category, consumption billing, 2 for final billing, and 4 for simulation, and 5 for manual billing. Now, for each category, we must have exactly one document type. So all these document types are basically client level definition. All these document types are valid for all the company codes and the contracts for all the divisions. That means we cannot maintain a specific billing document type for a company code or for a particular division. Exactly for one particular document category, we must have one document type. We cannot maintain more than one document type. And also, these document types have got no special significance in the sense they are not having any control data. For instance, if you define a document type for sales order, billing in SD, or delivery document or a purchase order document type, they will have certain controls we can customize, but there's no need to maintain any control data. You must maintain one document type. It's not having any additional controls, but the system will use this particular document type to process the billing. So that's one important thing. So we have declared here VA as a document type for consumption billing. That is the regular periodic consumption billing. And we must assign the number ranges to document type. So go to billing documents, allocate number ranges to document types. Now here we are assigning VA the number range as 01. This assignment will take care of the individual transaction. Suppose you are going to create a billing document for a single installation, then the number range is 01. For the mass processing, we are maintaining number range as R1. So we'll be doing one exercise later, which will involve mass meter readings, mass billing, mass invoicing. At the time of mass billing, it will use this particular number range, R1. So there are only three important activities what you have to perform in the billing execution: definition of number ranges, definition of document types for each billing category, and assignment of number ranges to billing documents. These are the only three settings. Although you can set up the simulation, okay, basically the outsorting. Outsorting, I will explain subsequently how outsorting can happen. Basically validation for the billing document. Now, meanwhile, I'll just change the value what I maintained earlier. I will explain later the basic purpose of outsorting. So this is the second part. First part what we have done. Outsorting, we will keep it pending. We'll see later. Now we will go to the next important customization, that is the account determination. Now, as you know, wherever billing execution happens, the rate is executed. And in the rate, we have got one or many line items which are calculated using variant program. So in the rate, we have one or many steps of calculation. System will calculate a particular value in each step. At this moment, our rate is having one variant program, quantity01, which will calculate the energy amount. This energy amount is basically a revenue item. So you must maintain a GL account for this, which is basically revenue item, GL account, like price account. Okay. Now, this is for the sub-transaction account determination. That means if you got 3 line items, each line item is contributing to the total net value. So each of the line item has to be posted to a revenue GL account. Like you can maintain one energy account, you can maintain one standing energy account, you can maintain the surcharges GL account, device rental value. So for each of the sub transaction, you can maintain the GL account, and the total net value along with the tax will be posted to reconciliation account. So basically the total value of the invoice will be debited to contract account and then debit to the reconciliation account, and individual line items are going to be credited to sub transaction GL account. So there are two separate areas of account determination. One is the reconciliation account determination and another is the sub-transaction GL account determination. Now the sub-transaction is identified by sub-transaction key, what we are using currently as 021. 021 is a sub-transaction happening in the main transaction 0100. So under 0100 you can have many sub-transactions. Each sub-transaction is identified by a sub-transaction key, and these sub-transactions are coming under the main transaction. So 0100 is the main transaction for which you are going to maintain the reconciliation account, and for 0021 you are going to maintain revenue account determination. But when you are maintaining revenue account determination, we have to enter the tax code because each of the sub-transaction value is taxable. Suppose the energy amount is there, it is coming as 300 kilowatt hour, 10 rupees, 3000. On this 3000 rupees, we have to add the tax. Tax will be added in invoice. But at the time of account determination, we must maintain what is the rate of tax. The rate of tax is defined using the tax code. And using the tax code, we can set up the tax account determination. So first we will define one tax code. What is the rate of tax? Then we will integrate with the tax code defined in FICA. Because when you define the tax code in financial accounting, we only maintain what is the rate of tax, but what is its duration, what is its validity, from which date the rate of tax is valid up to what date, and that has to be connected to a tax code defined in FICA, because we are going to calculate the values in FICA and the debit happens to contract account in the FICA environment. If you are using sales and distribution, we maintain the tax determination in SD itself. When you create a sales order, the tax is calculated for each item. But in the case of ISU, we are not creating any SD billing. We are using the utility billing. So for utility billing, each of the sub-transaction value has to be added with the tax. So we have to have a tax code defined in FICA, integrate with the tax code defined in the financial accounting. So first, let us define the tax code. Go to financial accounting new, and then go to contract accounts. We go to first financial accounting global settings, then go to tax on sales and purchase calculation, and then define the tax code for sales and purchase. So our tax calculation is happening in the country India, for which you have got a tax procedure. Now we will define a tax code. Let us say 60 is the tax code. It is already used here, so we will use some other tax code, maybe 61. We will say this is the utility tax. Utility tax. Basically, there are two types of taxes what you use in SAP. One is called the output tax and another is called input tax. Output tax is applicable for sales, basically sales and distribution, and utility, because basically utility is a kind of a invoice what you create to contract account. It's kind of a sale, although it is not sales and distribution, but you are basically billing the consumer for the service what you have rented. It's like a service tax. So it is the output tax, something related to customer or the contract account. So here you have to select the output tax. Input tax is applicable for purchasing. That means when you purchase certain items from the vendor, the tax is calculated when you do invoice verification or when you are posting incoming invoice in EMM. The tax is not calculated in the purchase order. Tax is calculated only in the invoice verification or when you prepare the invoice. But in case of SD and utility, when you prepare the invoice, the tax will be part of the calculation. So we will say check ID and then continue. Now here you can see output tax. You can maintain the rate applicable, let's say 10%, and then save it. We have defined one tax code as 61. Now you have to define a tax code in FICA and then integrate with the financial accounting tax code. And when you define the tax code in FICA, we can also maintain the date from which it is valid. So now we will go to financial accounting new and then select the contract accounts receivable and payable, and then go to basic functions, postings and documents, and then document, maintain document assignments. Define the sales and purchase tax determination. Select here, then do the new entry. Country IN. Our tax code in FICA is 61, valid from 01/01/2019, assigned to tax code defined in financial accounting, that is 61, and then save it. After this, we have to go to set up the account determination. Go to postings and documents, document, and then select define account assignments for the automatic posting. So go to automatic GL account determination and then select ISU define account determination to main transaction. So here you have to select ISU define account assignment data relevant to main transaction. Select here. We are going to use the chart of account what we have assigned it to our company code, because while doing the account determination, we must use the accounts which have been defined in the particular chart of account and maintained for the company code. Basically in SAP, the GL account exists at two levels. First, the GL account is defined at the rate of chart of account, and then once it is available in the chart of account, it can be maintained for the company code having that particular chart of account. In our case, we created company code by copying 001, which has got chart of account as INT. So our company code 6000 is also having the chart of account as INT. Now in this particular chart of account, there are GL accounts available defined for the consumption billing. That's the main transaction. We can use the same GL account, If required, you can also create the new GL account. But whatever may be the scenario, GL accounts are going to be created by the FI consultant, and then they will provide to the FICA consultant, based on which the account determination can happen. Now here you can find out what is the GL account maintained for 0001 company code. Because our company code is identical to 0001, we are sharing the same set of GL accounts. So we can use basically GL account assigned for the same scenario. So let us go to the account determination, select INT. Now the account determination is basically determined based on three important factors. Or you can say what is the criteria on what basis we are going to maintain account determination. The three important parameters will be in which company code we are preparing billing and invoicing, for what division we are preparing the billing, because contract is basically division specific, in which division contract has been maintained, and for the contract we are preparing the billing and invoicing, what is the company code, what is the division, and then ID for account determination. Contract account has got ID for account determination. We have classified the contract accounts from the accounting perspective as residential contract accounts, commercial contract accounts, the industrial contract account. So in our case, company code is 6000 and our division is 60 and ID for account determination is 60. That means if you prepare a billing document for a contract maintained for the division 60, and if the contract account belongs to the residential consumer, what is the reconciliation account? That means if you have got three divisions and three contract account ID, we can maintain 9 possible GL accounts. For electricity division, residential consumer, 1 GL account. For the residential consumer, water, 1 GL account. Residential consumer for the gas, 1 GL account. Likewise for the commercial and the industrial contract accounts. So here we will find out by simulation, 0001 is the company code. There they have 01 as a division, ID for account determination 01, residential, and main transaction 0100. So the particular reconciliation account is 1,45,20. It's a balance sheet account, and this GL account is already available in the company code, but you can always check it once whether it is available in the company code. So go to FS00, GL master at the company code level. So particular GL account is this and our company code is 6000. So reconciliation account for the consumption billing. Actually they had given some other definition. I have made it as reconciliation account for the consumption billing. You can also make it as electricity if you want specifically, and all the necessary data is already available here. So we can use this particular GL account. So you can simply select it and then copy. Our company code is 6000, division is 60, and ID for account determination is 60. And for this combination, GL account is 1,45,20. Now save it. So the total value of the invoice will be debited to this particular reconciliation account. Actually, when you prepare the invoice in the FICA posting, system will do the aggregation. Okay. What is the purpose of aggregation? In the invoice, you may have more than one line item. For example, we have energy amount, which is basically 4,000 rupees. You have got standing energy or fixed energy charges. That amount is, let us say, 500. And you may have device rental value or surcharge, which is 300 rupees. So the net value is going to be 4,000 plus 500 plus 300, which is equal to 4,800, plus tax on the sub-transaction value, including the tax, sub-transaction value, tax will be 10%, so 480. So the total amount will be 4,800 plus 480. This is to be debited to contract account, and parallelly it has to debit to the reconciliation account. But in ISU, when you prepare the invoice and save it, only one account will be posted. That is a counted account. The counted account is debited immediately with the invoice amount. All other accounts are determined and they are stored in the FICA document. Subsequently, when you transfer the FICA document to financial accounting, the GL accounts will be posted. Now here, system will use a particular sub-transaction to debit 4,800 to counted account, and then same amount will be available for posting to reconciliation account. So how the system will do the summarization, we will see when you prepare the invoice. Right now, you have maintained the reconciliation account determination. Now, using the sub-transaction, we have to maintain the revenue accounts for each of these values. There should be GL account for energy amount, fixed energy, device rental. At the moment, we have got only energy amount. So we will maintain the GL account. And this GL account we are going to maintain using the sub-transaction 0021. As you remember, when you define the rate, we have used variant program quantity01, and we have assigned for debit entry sub-transaction as 0021. So based on 0021, we must maintain the account determination. So to maintain the revenue account determination, we have to select ISU define account assignment data relevant to transactions. Again here, the parameters will be company code, division, ID for account determination, and then the main transaction. That means the same sub-transaction can happen in consumption billing, the same sub-transaction can happen in your move billing, same sub-transaction can happen in final billing. So each of them will have a GL account maintained for the sub-transaction, but there will be separate GL account determination for the main transaction. So main transaction, sub-transaction go hand in hand. Sub-transaction is not a independent entity. It is something assigned to the main transaction. So if you are going to execute consumption billing, to which account the energy amount should be posted? This is again dependent on the company code, division, ID, and the main transaction. So here we will use again simulation. 0001 is a parental company code, 01 is the division, 01 is the ID, main transaction 0100. So here we have got 11 and 21. Okay, these are important to us. The 21 is required for debit posting and 11 is required for credit posting. If you remember in the rate, there were two columns, debit sub-transaction, credit sub-transaction. Credit sub-transaction will happen when you prepare the credit memo. Invoice is a debit entry to content account and it is posting to the energy account. Energy account is basically going to be credited. So for that, we must have the GL account. We must maintain for both 11 and 21. So if you select this particular sub-transaction 21, GL account is 8,520,000. That's the GL account, energy account. So we can copy this particular sub-transaction account determination and then substitute. You can also create with the new entry, but since you know the already account has been maintained here for this particular transaction, single copy. Our company code is 6000, 60 is the division, ID is 60, 0100 21. GL account is 8,520,000, but our ID for tax determination is 61. This is the tax code. Enter. A cost element exists for GL account 8,520,000. Okay, we will maintain. Basically, while doing the posting for the devices stock, we use the controlling area. So a cost element exists. All the GL accounts, whatever you are having in the chart of account, we have converted them into cost element. So there is a cost element available for 8,520,000 for which you have to maintain the cost center. Okay, so we will do that. Right now we will say continue and then save it and then come back and then maintain the GL account for the 11 sub transaction. So same GL account you can use 0101 0 100, select 11 and then single copy 6000 60 and then 60 11. So our tax code is 61 and then save it. So we have maintained the sub transaction account for both of the sub transaction. So 6060 and then 60 and then 0 100. So we have maintained for 21 and 11. We will save it. Now we can also set up the cost center for the particular, although it is not required. So since it is asking for the cost element to be updated with the GL account, we can check it. So go to S000 and then select the accounting, controlling, cost element accounting, master data for the cost element, individual processing, change. So our controlling area is 6000 and the cost element is 8,520. 8,520. Cost center 6001, history, and then save it. Now we have maintained the account determination for the main transaction and also for sub transaction. The tax account determination, not necessary now. We will do it before the invoice is created. Now the final important setting is the price master data. Basically, when the execution of billing will happen, quantity 01 will be executed, for which you have got two input operands. One input operand is basically for the quantity and one is the price. The system will access the value for the quantity and system will access the value for the price. The system will access the value for the quantity based on the meter reading result, what you enter for the particular register. At the moment, we are having a device which is having a single register. So every month when you perform the meter reading, we are entering the results for the meter reading for the particular register. So this meter reading quantity is updated in the installation. So system can find out how much quantity has to be billed for the particular month. But it has to do the valuation of the quantity with the price. So what should be the price? So first you have to maintain the value for the price. And once the price master has been defined, we must assign it in the facts. Facts are the provisions or the containers available in the master data in ISU, where you can assign the value of the price key to the particular operand. So there are three types of facts available in the system. You can maintain the operand value in the facts at the installation level, or you can maintain the facts value for the operands at the rate category level, or you can maintain the facts for the operands at the rate level. But when the system is accessing the data, first priority it will give for the installation. If it finds the value for the operand in the installation facts, then it will not search for the other areas. But suppose it does not find the operand value at the installation level, then it will try to find out at the rate category level. If it doesn't find at the rate category level, it will find at the rate level. So first time when you're doing, we'll do it at the installation level. Then we will see how to maintain it at the rate category level. And also when you're doing the smart meter billing, we will see how to use the rate category, rate level facts using the fact group. Okay. So right now we have to define the price value. So each and every price what you maintain the value is identified by a price key. Okay. This price key is a hybrid data. Okay. It's a hybrid data. It has got customization data and it also got the application data. The price key is identified by a number. That number will come from the ISU master data configuration. And application data is basically the value itself. What is the value of the price? So when you create a price key, it is something saved as a customization data. Although it is having the application data, the price percentage or whatever is the price value you are maintaining, it has to be application data, but it is not purely created as the application data. For example, in sales and distribution, you have defined a condition type PR00. PR00 is for price. It is having the customization data in the IMG. How the price should be calculated, we maintain the customization data in IMG. But end user will maintain the price value as a price master, as a condition value. It's purely application data. So the end user is not creating the price key. It is already defined by the consultant in the customization. But here the price key is coming from the IMG. Value is coming basically for the application. So every price key has to be customized and given the value in a historical date. Because whenever you do billing in IMG, whenever you do billing in electricity or water or gas utility, always the prices should be valid in the historical date. Suppose I'm billing in the month of November, 30th of November. We are billing for the consumption happened between 30th of November starting from 1st of November. That means our consumptions have happened for 1st of November to 30th of November. The price should be valid in this particular historical date. That means you must maintain value along with the date of validation, from which date it is valid. So first we have to maintain number range for the price key, and then you can maintain the price value either in IMG or in easy access. So I'll show both. So go to IMG and then go to utilities and then go to contract billing, and in contract billing select the billing master data and then go to rate structure and then go to prices and then select the define the prices. Select the define prices. Each price is identified by a number, unique number. So you must maintain the number ranges interval. So I maintained number ranges starting from 1 to 999, full number range numerical. So if you leave it to the system, it will create the price key with the internal number range. Or if you want to give, you can give external number, which is alphanumeric, A2, Z. It's basically 4-character identification number. So now number range is already maintained. Define the prices, create the prices. So you can do it from here, or you can also do it from the easy access. But whether you do from IMG or easy access, it will say with the customization request. So if you go to billing and then master data, define the prices, create the prices. So this is a price key number. In our case, we leave it blank. So it will give an internal number from the number range and the price category. Okay. Basically, you can maintain 4 types of prices. Now you have to maintain 2 different types of price key. One is for the prices. Another price key we have to configure separately for the discount and surcharges. So that we'll see subsequently. Whenever you maintain the price key, we identify price belonging to one of these categories. So the price what to define can be a quantity based price. Otherwise, it can be a flat rate. It can be rental price or time dependent price. Quantity based price is required for the energy amount calculation. If you remember, we have defined an operand for the quantity, which is basically register enabled. Basically, the quantity will be in kilowatt hours, but the price will be quantity based price. It is basically Q price. The operand we have defined for the price is Q price, quantity based price. That means what is the rate of price for each kilowatt hour. So the energy amount is calculated based on the quantity into quantity based price. So our price is maintained here for the particular unit of measurement for the energy per kilowatt hour. That means 15 rupees per kilowatt hour. That is a quantity based price. Flat rate price is maintained where the price is independent of quantity, like a lump sum energy or fixed energy. The electricity utility is billing the consumer for a fixed energy charge as 6,000 rupees per year, calculated pro rata on each month billing. That means whatever may be your consumption, you have to pay for the whole year a total amount of 6,000 rupees for 365 days, which is calculated on pro rata. Suppose you are doing billing for 29 days, then 29 by 365 into 6,000. That is what is going to be calculated as a flat rate. Rental prices are used for calculating the device rental value. So there is a separate configuration for the rental price. We will see how to do. Time dependent prices are used in the case of demand price calculation, where you got the peak power calculated for the particular period, and here the demand amount is calculated based on time dependent price. We are going to see how to use time dependent price in the case of demand billing and also in street light billing, where you use ref value calculation. Okay, so we will see all these four how to use in due course of time. Right now we are interested in quantity based price. Price level is not applicable. It is applicable only in the case of device rental. Currency is INR. And then you can maintain three types of prices: standard price, block price, scale price. Standard price means it is not sensitive to the quantity. Whatever may be the quantity measured, it will apply one price, 15 rupees kilowatt hour. Whether your consumption is 300 kilowatt hour or 1000 kilowatt hour or 2000 kilowatt hour, price is same. That is the standard price. Block price and the scale price will involve some kind of blocks. In scale price, you can maintain the scales. Like if the consumption is happening between 0 to 300 kilowatt hour, what is the price? If consumption is happening between 300 kilowatt hour to 600 kilowatt hour, what is the price? So it is using a scale. Based on the quantity appearing in a particular scale, that price will be taken. In the case of block price, we will have a block. That means if the total quantity is 600 kilowatt hour, it is divided into n number of blocks. First 100 quantity will be with one value. Next 100 consumption will be with another value. Next 200 will be with another value. So you can divide the blocks. You can maintain the blocks. For each block, we'll maintain the price. So in future, we will see how to use the block price and the scale price. So first, we will select the standard price. Now give a suitable description. We will say energy price, residential consumer, electricity. Now our billing class is basically Z600, what we define, and our division is 60, and unit of measurement is kilowatt hour. And then go to history and then maintain from which date the price is applicable. Let's say this price is applicable effectively for billing from 01/01/2019 till 31st/12/999. So end date will always maintain 31st/12/99, because in future whenever the prices will change, again the new price will be valid from. Okay. So let's say in the month of August, in the month of, let us say, 2020, the price is changing in March. Okay, so new date will be 1st of March 2020 again to 31st/12/999. So you can always vary the valid from end date. You can keep it as 31st/12/999. Quantity basis per kilowatt hour. Per kilowatt hour, the price amount is 12 rupees, and then copy. That means whenever the billing is going to happen historically, any date starting from 1st of January 2019 onwards, the price is going to be 12 rupees per kilowatt hour. Now we have saved it. But now, how will the system know this price only it has to use? Okay. Let us say technically we got scale price, we got flat price, or we got let's say block price. But when the billing happens, which one it has to use? The system doesn't know, because all the installations belong to residential consumer, all the installations belong to electricity. But you have got more than one price key. How will the system know which particular price key it has to use? So somewhere you have to declare it as a default price key. Okay, that is what you do by maintaining the price key in your facts level information. So here the price key is 1031. Okay, 103 is the price key, and 1 is the standard price. So now we'll go to facts. Go to ES31, technical master data, installation, change. Our installation has been maintained for division 60. So we will select here division as 60. Our current installation is 223. And then effectively our billing period is starting from 1st of November 2019. Actually, we have done the move-in on the 1st of November 2019. So any billing has to happen, it has to happen subsequent to 1st of 11. And our meter reading also has been done for the end of November. So for the billing to happen, we must know what is the price. So we are going to maintain the facts level information, select the facts. Facts will be applicable from 1st of November because that is the current activation line. Okay. Historically, our very first billing will happen from the period starting from 1st of November. What is the operand? We got basically three operands. 60-1 for the quantity, energy price is 60-2, energy amount is 60-3. Select 60-2 because that is the price key for the operand, valid up to 31st 12/999. And what is the price key? Press F4. Whatever price key you have defined just now for the particular billing class and the division will show up. It may have more than one value, but appropriate value you have to select. At the moment we have only one, so I'm selecting 103 as the price key. Transfer. So now we have assigned the value to the operand. So 103 is the operand, which is basically energy price. And then we have got other operands as well available. 60-1. 60-1 is the operand for the quantity. The system will get the quantity from the MR results, what we have saved. So here we can see our consumption has happened for the particular period as 600 minus 6. That's the consumption value. That means in this particular period of consumption, what is the actual consumption? So 600 minus 0, that is 600. So 600 into 12 rupees, that is the amount. And in the billing, it is not going to calculate any tax. Tax will be calculated only when you prepare the invoice. So billing document contains only the net value, excluding the tax. Now that we have got all the information, let us see whether we can process any billing document. If any missing controls are there, we can maintain. Otherwise, billing should be executed. So now we go to the billing and then go to billing execution, individual processing. At the moment, I'm doing billing for individual installation. Okay. There's one more facility available when you do individual billing. Not only you would create a billing document, automatically system will also use that billing document to create an invoice. But at the moment, we don't have the customization done for the invoice processing. So at this moment, we will do only billing and then we will do invoicing separately. But if you want, you can create billing document and invoice. So first it will create a billing document, keep it in the memory, and then use that billing document to prepare the invoice. So at the moment, we are executing only billing document. So EASIBI individual biz. Now in future, we will see how to do mass billing. That means for n number of installations, how to execute the billing document. So we will now go to individual EA00. We will go to EASIBI and then enter the billing date. By which date our billing should happen? The bill by is basically end billing date. That means as per the portion, we have got fixed end billing date. Our billing date should not be earlier to end billing date. In our case, end billing date is 30/11. So if you see our installation, our date of billing is also fixed. If you go to billing periods, a billing period is starting from basically 01/01 to 31st 12/999. But actually, if you see the billing order, it is scheduled for billing on 29th of 11. Okay. That means it is scheduled for billing on 29/11. So the date cannot be prior to 29/11. It can be after, but not before. That means historically when I'm doing the billing, I'm doing for billing 29. But let's assume you are doing billing in this month and it is going to be, let's say, 29th of, let's say, January. Okay. So I cannot do billing on 28th. The date has to pass. Either it should be 29 or 30, 01, not earlier to 29/11. So because the data will not be available. So we have to go to EASIBI and then we will say 29/11/2019, document date 29/11/2019, and then posting date is also 29/11/2019. Now here posting date is referring to invoice. Okay. By default, we have to enter both document date and posting date. The system will assume that we might create a billing document and also post. Okay. But we are not posting any invoice at the moment. If you are going to post the invoice also automatically in the background, a reconciliation key is required. Okay. Right now we are not doing that. So you can select the installation or a contract. If you select contract account, then it will show up all the installations which are due for billing. Okay. That means suppose if contract account is having 3 installations, electricity, gas and water, then you can select a particular installation and then execute the billing. But at the moment we have got only one installation. So now execute the billing. Now billing is terminated. We will see what is the missing data. Go to the log. Cost center is blocked against the revenue posting on 06/21. So the cost center, we have to just do some tweaking. Go to the contract account receivable payable. Okay, we have to go to S000. Go to accounting, controlling, cost center accounting, master data, cost center, individual processing, change. So our cost center is maintained for controlling area 6000, select it, and then go to control. So actual revenue, plan revenue, you can delete and then save it, and then go to EASI BI. So 29/11, document date, posting date, and then execute. Now individual bill is completed. Whenever the bill is completed, it will give the log. In the log, we can see whether billing document has been created and whether it has been outsorted. Outsorted means sometimes what happens when you execute the billing document, the outsorting rule will apply and validation will be done. If suppose it is not validated, the billing document is saved, but it is outsorted. Outsorted means it is blocked for the invoicing. Unless you remove the outsorting block, we cannot go ahead with the invoice. So here there is no such message. The moment billing happens, the billing order is deleted. If you remember, when you created metering order, a billing order was created. Billing order will remain in the installation till you execute the billing. But once the billing has been done, the billing order is deleted. But in case tomorrow, suppose if you reverse the billing document, then again the billing order will open. Okay. So billing order is deleted and billing document number is 2302. Okay. This is the document number. Number of contracts processed 1. If you're doing mass processing, it will tell you how many contracts have been billed and how many documents have been created. Now we will check the billing document. Either you can go to billing analysis or you can go to installation and then check the billing, or you can see the billing document display. Okay, so you can check it from 3 levels. Go to billing, billing execution, billing analysis, or display the billing document, or you can go directly to the installation itself. ES31, every billing document invoice for to process, they are updated in the installation. Of course, all the billing documents are saved in a particular table, and from there also you can check the data. Go to billing periods, billing order. You can see there's no billing order now because the billing has been done. So now we'll go to document Here for the period starting from 1st of November, the end billing period is 29/11. So our new billing period is starting from 30/11. System will automatically update here. The next billing period is starting from 30/11. So 30/11/2019 to 29th of December. That will be the billing period, which is basically going to happen. Once you do the billing, every time you do the billing, system will update. Okay. So new billing lines will start from 30/11 because we got consumption billed up to 29/11. So this is the billing document. Select it. Billing document contains a lot of information. We can just study it whenever you are free. You can just go to display and see. Basically, document data, single line. The how many lines have been executed in the billing. Okay, depending on how many steps of calculations you are having in the schema. Basically, in the schema, you have got one or more rates, and each rate will have one or many steps. At the moment, our rate is having only one line item, but it can also have n number of line item. Each line item will show the calculation details. Although we have got only one line item, it is actually showing two line items here because, as I told you, the quantity is available as a statistical information. It will just simply show what this for this particular period of billing, what is the quantity we have included in the billing calculation. For the consumption between 1st of November to 29th of November, the quantity is 600 units, 600 kilowatt hour, and it is showing what is the rate and billing class and everything. And then if you go to line item number 2, it is a evaluated value. What is the value for the quantity? So line item type is basically here it is showing 001. The price key is 103, billing quantity is 600, price amount is 12, 7,200. That means it has done the calculation for the quantity 01 where the quantity is known and the price is known based on the net amount has been calculated. So there are two line items. In the billing document, you can see what is the billing document number, what is the business partner, in which company code billing document was created. Is it actual billing or simulation? This is not a simulation, it's actual billing. And then in header level data, we can see what is the contract account, what is the contract, what kind of billing you have done. At the moment you have done periodic consumption billing, and what is the document type? It is VA. And what is the main transaction for the billing document? It is 600. And if you go to schedule data, the starting of the billing period is from 1st of November to 29/11, or all date billing 30/11, and then created on 06/01/2020. Okay. So back billing type, no back billing here, and then billing key date is 11th of 2019. Okay. So a lot of information stored here. Document overview. In document overview, it will show how many line items are available. Line item number 1, line item 2. Each line item is identified by line item type. Okay. This line item type definition will happen in the rate automatically. When you create rate and come out, automatically system will assign each of the line item to line item type. So if you go to the rate definition, billing, master data, define the rates, change the rates. Z600 is the rate what we created. In Z600, rate steps are there. So here we have got the line item type iQuant. Okay, iQuant is basically quantity, but the energy price has been calculated, which is basically as 401 energy price. Okay, I quantity is basically line item 001. So this is basically the energy line item, and that is what it is showing here. The line item type is iQuant. This is the basically statistical information item type, and then the actual energy price is 0001. Tomorrow, suppose in the billing we have done the demand price, flat rate, rental value, reference value. Reference value will come in the case of street lighting, amount discount, or suppose you have done, let's say, device rental. So accordingly, it will show the line item definition. Okay. So each line item definition happens depending on the particular step and the particular program what we are using. Okay. Print document. If suppose after billing you have created the invoice, then it will show what is the corresponding invoice number. But we have not done the invoice still. Tomorrow we'll be working on the invoice preparation, how to customize the invoice, and then how to prepare the invoice. And once invoice is posted, how the document is posted in FICA, and understanding of the FICA document, and then how to transfer the data from FICA to general ledger accounting. Okay. So you have almost come to completing the first cycle, that is billing to invoice. And lastly, when the invoice is posted, the open item is created. How to create the open item? We must have at least one method of payment used. We have to enter the incoming payment for clearing the open item, because although payment entry is done by the FICA customization, we have to include at least one payment method, because there are some business process in ISU which you cannot understand unless you enter the incoming payment. For example, collective billing or statistical budget billing. Unless you enter the incoming payment, we do not know the complete, meaning of the process what we have done. Okay, so we will do cash desk payment entry, which is quite often used. That will complete our metering order to cash. Right now in metering order to cash process, we have come up to billing execution. Tomorrow we will see how to do invoice processing. Is it okay?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. I want to ask you one or two things, sir.
Yeah, sure. Please.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing, we have created an order and we have created a billing document. In general, in real life case or in any organization, that is basically created in mass. That is,
Okay.
order creation is done in mass.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any means we what do, in order to do that, what do we need to do? Do we need to write a program, or is it a provision for order creation in mass also?
No. You don't have to do any development. You have to just execute the mass billing transaction. Like here, we have done individual billing, but we'll be executing mass billing. Only thing, you must maintain a separate number range for the mass billing. That's it. We already got R1, R2. So mass billing is a transaction. There's no configuration or any development. You can include thousands of installations or thousands of contracts. It will just give the range. For example, if you're doing mass billing, the bill by, that means you have to give the end billing date. Whatever contracts are applicable up to that end billing will be included in the billing. You will just give the installation range. What are the installations, what you're billing, what is the range? Or if you give a portion range, one portion may have, let's say, 1,000 contracts. So if you give a range of, let's say, P1 to P100, then 100 portions into 1,000 contracts, those contracts will be billed at a time. Contract will happen for each billing, a billing order is created. So it's just a execution of transaction. There's no need of any programming.
No, sir. What I wanted to ask is, say for example, if I have total 10 lakh consumer to bill in a month,
Mm-hmm.
and they are distributed across, say for example, 1,000 MRUs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the consumers say is billed on first, some of is billed on second, some of them is billed on third, some of them is billed on fourth, subsequently on each day of the month. Now, what process that we follow in our organization is that there is a program, scheduled job, wherein the different MRUs, say for example, which just has to do the billing on one first, its MRU is fired automatically. Then the second, the MRU which the consumers whose billing is to be done on second, those MRUs are fired automatically. So in that case, we have a scheduled program or a scheduled job
No,
rather than doing it
you can,
manually.
no, you can schedule this also. This particular process, what you're doing, we are
Mhm.
going to schedule. Like say, you can ask the basis guy to schedule it in the background job. So in the
Okay.
background job, when you're doing, you can give the range of installation. Okay. So you can say on which date it has to execute. So every month it will happen automatically. Or you can also do parallel processing. It's only
Okay.
parameters you have to give. If you go to parallel processing, you have to give mass billing. You have to create a ID. We'll maintain a date ID, and for date ID, we give an identification. Suppose the date ID is 1st of January 2020. Okay, we give identification. Same information they will copy in the next month. Only change what will happen is date ID, identification will remain the same, and they will fix this to happen in the mass billing process in the background. So basically, it is something what you are scheduling in advance, so that at any given point of time we can ask the system to do the billing. So billing execution happens upfront, or you can do it in mass. But there's no need of any programming. You have to just execute. If you want it to happen automatically in the background, you have to ask the basis guy to create a batch job. The scheduled job will be created. Accordingly, it will run.
Is it possible to show that process, sir? Maybe tomorrow or someday later? That batch
Later,
job
we'll see.
creation
After we
process.
finish the whole cycle, we will see how to do mass billing. Mass
Okay,
billing
fine.
anyway is coming. How to do
Fine.
scheduling? Scheduling in general, I can show you one example.
Yeah, that is only. Secondly, sir, yesterday I had sent you a WhatsApp when I was trying to create that using that Migo, M-I-G-O. Everything was getting created. Even the document was getting created, but only when I tried to post it, error dump was getting obtained. And basically, what I reckoned from the remarks which it came was that the date which it took was 5th of January 2020, but my posting periods were in November and December only. So I have not opened it for January
No, usually
2020.
what happens is if the posting periods are not open in
Hmm.
the goods posting and all, it will tell you period is you could have posted in the last month. But for Migo
Yes.
also, it can show that error message, but dump is coming. But you can always check it. If you go to OMSY, you can check
Hmm.
what is the current period posting for the particular company. What is your company code?
It's 0008. 0008.
0008. Okay, this is the
Yes.
company code. So it is opening in the 2019-12. So you can use the MMPV and then
Okay.
open it in this month. So 0008. You're opening in the period January and then 2020, and then execute. Automatically it will update the period. If you go to OMS5 and if you see 0008, it has now come to January 2020. So every month when the month is over, you have to perform MMPV and then close all the documents what you have created in the previous month. So the new period gets opened automatically, and then you can start doing the material movements, whether goods is or goods issue. But usually for goods is it will show your posting periods are in the back, okay? But for the Migo, probably it is showing the error, dump error because of the opening periods are not available. So you can check it today and let me know whether you are able to
Okay.
do.
Sure, sir. I'll try doing it once. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.